Hello, my beautiful people. We are here today to give you a very special stream. It is I, Solid Handou, coming you straight from the Red Rooster studio here. Tonight, I was thinking, people haven't seen this game in a while. They haven't seen the first attack. Undernight, Ember, UNICLR, clear. It rolls off the tongue. You know what I mean? Today, we're gonna do a little breakdown, a little bit of the basics of how the game handles, how it works with like the mechanics, a little bit of the breakdown and stuff. Yeah, that's me. Yo, we got Fidelity in the chat. We got Sekiro. Let's go. All right, fellas. But enough about the chat. Let's talk about the stream a little bit. We're gonna do a rundown, a little bit of a breakdown of how the game works. Just a basic understanding. We're not gonna go through every mechanic or the OSs, the option selects, proximity guard stuff and all that. A little bit of the draw RPS game the game has going now, because that's gonna be important later on, because Wagner, she's really reliant on her draw RPS game and her operating stuff. But enough about that. Not only are we gonna break down a little bit of the game, we're gonna break down as well my main, since Unif, the last version, Wagner, since she's German, with a sword and shield combo. Oh man, I'm getting hyped already. Let's pop in real quick. Oh, hold up. Game went away for a bit. Should show up real soon. My bad. Wait. My bad, chat. Let me just go back real quick. Seemed like it went away when I was like trying out the stream and stuff. So give me a second here. Let me just that. I'm just like, oh, okay. It should show up now. Let me make sure. Ooh, beautiful. All right. So we out here in the... Oh, no. My controller's not being read. There we go. All right. Now, as y'all know, it's always important. Get those controls set up. What I do, I usually do default. We're going to break down the buttons soon. I'll explain why I'm putting those real quick. But let's get it right in. We got here. Beautiful menu. Get in that training mode. All these beautiful colors. Oh, I got the DLC, the Cheetos. Let's go with the Cheetos. I like to use either high rise or training mode. Let's go with high rise. Elton Steam, that's one of my favorites overall. Oh man, I love the music in this game. Look at those transitions. Oh, look at how fast it is. The PC power, bro. Well, alright. So, now a couple of you thinking, well, just jump on the screen, man. These are all buttons and movement and stuff. So, okay. Let me just break it down real quick. Let me just... Before I even get down to what Warple is... Okay. So... Can't hear the game audio? Hold up. Can you hear it now? That's weird. Can't hear the game audio? You still can't hear it? Okay, hold up.
時間の無駄じゃないか
Still can't hear it?
さっさと来たらどうだ時間の無駄じゃないかさっさと来たらどうだ
How about now? Can you hear it now? There we go. I don't know what black sorcery I conducted, but it works now. Alright. Let's go, baby. We in there. So, like I was gonna say, you know, all this junk on screen. What is this? Like, the cam's kind of blocking it, but there's like squares in the middle. Can I... Hold up. If they were to take out the... Nah, well, anyways. Y'all already know. Like, there's some squares in the middle. They're kind of glowing to my side there, you see? Like, on her thing. Line here on the right, on the player 2 side, she has like a glowing effect going around her. That's called Vorpal. The important thing about that is that it's the basis of how the game is played, how the characters interact with the game and everything. And the reason why Vorpal is important is because it activates unique traits to the characters and the mechanic and all that associated with that character. It also brings in this little mechanic called feet. Like at the start of the round, they're both in neutral position. They don't have Vorpal. But once there's like a circle in the middle called the grid cycle, it does a counterclockwise turn. And then once it's filled in, whoever has the most grid blocks, which are the little blocks in the middle, whoever has the most of them gets the advantage and they get the Vorpal. And that's when you activate your Vorpal and you get your unique trait. Wagner's is that she can get her install quicker. For certain other characters it's different. Like let's say for example Yusuriha, when she has Vorpal, she gets different routes from her teleport that get activated. Other characters get also like much more unique traits. Like Gordo, when he has Vorpal, his nail claw move, it hits crouching. When you used to like it whips on crouching. So there's always unique stuff that gets added. Hers, she just gets like a little something, like whatever. But now that you get that unique trait, you also get like a damage increase to all your normals and specials. Now you see here in the middle of the screen, there's 2 damages. The one on the left, that's the damage adjusted with Vorpal. And the one on the right, that's like the damage without Vorpal. And that's good to notice. Like if you're practicing combos, you're like, oh, but this killed here. But oh wait, that only kills when you have Vorpal. Very different. Now that you get that, you get access to this. Whoa, this screen just stopped. Whoa. That's called chain shift, my brother. If y'all ever played Guilty Gear, there's a mechanic called Roman Cancel where you can cancel the recovery of normals or specials, and then you can act out immediately, right? It's kind of similar to that, where it pauses the screen, gives you a time to think, alright, let me process this. You can also do it on whip. You don't have to cancel normal. You can do it on whip. Maybe if you're like, you can't react to something in time, you can do, a chain shift, and then activate it, and then you can react with a invincible move, or a counter hit, or something like that. But let's say, for example, I do this move, which is unsafe, normally on block, right? Oh no, they're gonna punch me. So, boom, now it's safe. Now I got an instant reaction. I could do high or low with that. What? That's insane. What? And it freezes the screen too. So they gotta be like, what is he gonna do? You know what I mean? There's like a layers to it. Not only that, oh, thank you, my man. I appreciate it. Yeah. I all I do is like water my hair a little bit and comb it. That's all I do, man. Thank you. Oh, Nintendo's here. Iron Bone, pleasure. I'm glad all y'all are watching the stream right here. Yes, sir. Alright. Let me back to it. So, that's how Vorpal works. Oh, I forgot to do that. My bad. I almost forgot to record it. So that's how Vorpal works. You get it to get the unique trait, which boosts your offensive ability or maybe defensive ability. You get it to get access to chain shift, but you also get it to do this. Ooh, what the hell is that? I didn't even explain what the hell that is. One of the mechanics. It's called cross-cast bail-off. I know, a mouthful, right? Like, who the hell's gonna say that? Like, come on, man. Who's gonna say that, man? Like, what's the cross-cast bail-off, bruh? That's just their way of saying that you can cancel a move, get a little pop-up, and you can do stuff like that, like whoop, and you freeze the screen a little bit, and it gives you time to like cancel and buffer in another special move. You can do it mid-combo. You can't do it on block. Like you cannot cross-cast fail off on block. Like it's not happening. You gotta change shift for that. Oh, I mean, I guess depending on the character, right? But Wagner can do it. So forgot about that piece. It's been a while, but anyways, you can do cross-cast fail off depending on the move, I guess. But it's usually either just safe on block, or depending on the move, you can make it neutral, if I'm correct. A bail-off, though, like the regular one, this is like, you do this with the three space buttons, and you activate this. This is like an even more powered up version of like the Vorpal. Notice how the meter is going down slowly, right? So you only have some time to use it, but you get access to all your supers. See? You just did 3 supers, which normally I couldn't do because I got only 2 bars, right? But if I can do bail off, oh wow, now I can do 3 supers. It wastes more too when you use it in a combo, so it balances it out a little bit. But you can also go into the, let's say you want the cinematic super, so you can do in a combo, like I did earlier. You do your EX, and then you can cancel into your cinematic, your infinite warp, as they call it in this game. But I like to call it just level 3 or cinematic super, because I'm gonna say infinite warp. Come on, man, that turns too long. But that's typically like your most highest damaging supers, and you get it from being in bail off or having 200 meter. But it's typically you get it off from a bail off combo or a cross cast bail off combo, because that's generally a lot easier to get, and it's a lot more practical. So that's one of the many ways you can use that. You can use it at 100 meter as well, like having like a, because it has in-ball on frame 1 as well, so you can use like a ghetto reversal option to get away from stuff. Put my meter to 180 so I can show off. See? I can still use it, but it starts off where that meter was at. That's important to know. So let's say I use that at 100. I can technically still do a double super if I do it early, but if I do it late, oh, well, you look at that. I did crosscast late, and so I couldn't do another super because I did it at 100 meters, so it wasn't worth it. And it also scales some combos they wouldn't normally, so you gotta pay attention to when to do it, how to do it, what situation's the right time to do it, because you also lose a lot of grid too. You lose a lot of grid block when you go into cross-cap bail-off and stuff. So that's really like the important thing to note when doing that. But enough about that. There's also another special thing. Like I forgot to mention, every character has their infinite warps or cinematic supers. You did them with 180D. And similar to Dragon Ball, they use the numpad notation to denote motions, 5 for neutral, 8 for up, 2 for down, you know, 4 for back, 6 for front. This is assuming you're playing one side. That's what they typically use for numpad. But also, what are these letters? What does that mean? Well, the letters are the denotations for the buttons. The A is your light button. So they call it the A button. 5 A's, 2 A's. Oh, well here we got 5B. These are your mediums. We call them from the B button because they're coming from the B. You should typically from the triangle and stuff. Then you got your C normals. Your heavies. They're slower, but they typically have more range. Or, if you do it for a command normal, let's say a Dreesy, that'd be down forward and a heavy. It'd be an anti-air. Universally, Dreesies have head imbo, which means move their passive from the top. So they're very good standard anti-airs that work in most situations. And then there's the D button. Ooh, that's right. You can charge up your Vorpal. What? What is this, Dragon Ball? Nah, man. This is before Dragon Ball. So you can also, let's say I'm at disadvantage. I wish my cam was here right now, but if I'm holding the B button, neutral position, and spend my meter to get myself grid block. And then boom, if I'm thinking, oh, I should stop my combo over here because he's gonna get the grid cycle and get his Vorpal, I should stop here, get my knockdown, charge up, and now I win the cycle. And oh man, now he's at a disadvantage and I got Vorpal. It's like, so it's kind of nutty in a way. It's a good use. Typically, you can think of it as like charging in like an Olympic K game where you used to charge per meter after a knockdown to get that little extra bar. You can get your desperation moves. But you know, segue to that desperation moves. This game also has that. Once you get to that 30 health threshold, at 200, if you have 200 bar, you can do what is called Infinite Warp EX. They're the most high damaging moves in the game. They're also frame 1 reversals. See, that does a lot of damage. You can combo into them. They're pretty easy to set up into combos, but notice that I now grid break. What the hell is grid break? Grid break means that you can no longer get grid blocks to win a grid cycle. You gotta wait until the bar fills back up again. So it's typically like that's why it's in the name desperation moves, because you do it when and you can only get access to it when you're at low health. You have 200 meter, you're like, I gotta kill him. I gotta do it right here. So you do bam. You do that as like a reversal or as a combo finisher at the end. High damage, high risk, but you get the advantage. Maybe you can get your grip back in time. Typically not, but you can do that too. That's like a decent desperation attack. So you got that too. Last thing I want to mention with the D button, you press 6 and D, forward and D. What? You can hop. That's right, sirs. With a command of a button, you can hop forward. It tracks to whatever the opponent's at. It changes position to how far away you are. So let's say I'm like this far away, it goes to here. But if I'm like a little bit like this close, the hop gets shorter. There's a little less gap. And if I say I'm close, there's more of a gap. It's a little more reactable. But then you gotta think like, what are you gonna do? Like, you gonna do an overhead here from a low situation? Probably. And then that's where your Dreesy comes in. Or your chain shit. That's right. When you want to react to something because it's getting hard to react to. Like, oh man, I don't want to deal with this assault mix-up. Well, don't worry, fella. Let me record. Where's the recording? Here we go, playback. You can do that, or you can react when a chain shift and do your reversal, your anti-air move right there at that moment. So that's typically the best situation to use your chain shift if you are not confident in your reactions, or you're thinking it's gonna do something gummy. You can do that to like just catch a little bit of a break and just assess the situation. So that's really useful to keep in mind when you have Vorpal. That's why it's so important to get Vorpal in this game, because you get a lot, so much stuff you normally wouldn't get if you don't have it. So, now that we break it down about that, D5, you can charge up. If you do it twice, that's how you use chain shift. You press D 5 times, you get your chain shift. Then you got your assault. 60. You can do it in the air. So it's like a ghetto air dash. But I like to think of it like in the ground, it's like a K-Web hop. You do like your hyper hop. You do like your short hop. And in the air, you get like a ghetto air dash. And you can mix up when to do it. You can do it for a back jump, a neutral jump, or a forward jump. And you can just mix up your approach a little bit. This game will have command normals. Like I said, mentioned 3C. Maybe there's a 6C with a character where hers is like an overhead move. We're gonna go back to that soon. Last mechanic I want to mention before we go straight to the character breakdown. This one's very important. This character has access to this. There's a thing. You know how typically in most anime games you do like a chain? Like let's say you do light, medium, heavy, right? In this game you also have that, obviously. You can chain. You can go to low. You can go like that, right? Low, light, low, medium, low, heavy, and they change together. No gap. But wait a minute. What's it? I went back to my light? You can't do that normally, right? Like, what is this sorcery? Ah, that's called a reverse beat. What that means is you're doing the reverse order back to what it was before. Now let's say you start off with a crouching button. Like you use all your crouching buttons, you can go start back up with a standing light and reset the order again. So you can do all your light and then bam. Now I can do my chain again from standing. But then, oh wait, so can you do it again if you do it from the standing? Of course. So you can do, and then do it again. So, and then you repeat, and then you go to crouching. If you do it all on the same block string, like if they block it all, you can't do that. That's illegal. You already used up all your normal chain. You can't reverse beat. At that point, you should special cancel. But with that reverse beat in mind, let's say you do like a heavy normal. This move typically is what? Negative 13, right? But let's say I want to like go back. Like if I start out with a heavy, I can go back to my light. And now I lost the recovery of my heavy button and traded it for my light recovery. So now a move that's like negative 10 is now negative 2. A move that's like negative 13 is now negative 2 because of the recovery of the light now. It's trading in one for the other. So in block strings, this gets hella annoying because you can do stuff like this. Yes, the staggers, yes. So evil. And then you can get cheeky. Like, let's say you get to that point where you, like, already figuring out the flow, how to rebeat, when to rebeat. Alright. You can end it. You're like 2 weeks in. I want to use my medium. Now you can mix in a drove, an assault, You can do it again. You can -1. One thing I forgot to mention, the fastest normals in this game are 5 frames. Your lights. Typically your standing lights. Sometimes your crouching light is a 5 frame. Sometimes. But typically standing are the ones that are fast. So, also if I have a -1 reverse speed thing, does that mean he can't really punish it? Well, let's say I'm like at max range. If I do that, I'm safe, right? And I had to give him my turn because I'm -2, right? So I have to block. I can't just do a thing. And I try to do it again, I get hit. That's how Frank did it. But what if I do it far away? Let's say I do like a far away normal, like 6 feet, right? And I do it from max range, repeat. Oh, they whip. What? No. You get open up to whip punishes. And now that's where it gets interesting. So now you can open up whip punishes or frame trap scenarios you wouldn't normally be able to do if you don't reverse speed. So this is why it's important to use that mechanic to reverse speed. So that's about all the basic gist of the mechanics you need and to understand what you want and what you're looking for in Undernight and Birth, right? So let me just go through a quick rundown of things. You got your grid cycle, which is the clockwise thing that goes through the match while you're proceeding. Your grid blocks, which determines when you have advantage and when your opponent has advantage. If you have more blocks, you have it. If he has more blocks, they get the Vorpal. Vorpal opens up your unique trait for your character. It could be a small buff or it could be a monumental game-changing buff for, like, let's say a character like Yutoriha or Chaos, who gets like new odds setups and all that. Then you got your bail off, which is like again a reversal when you have 100 meter. You can only use it when you have grid. You can also get grid broken. You see that? Oh, let me turn that off real quick. Then you get grid broken. Now you can't assault. When you're grid broken, you can't assault, you can't charge, you can't change shift, you can't do anything associated with the D button when you're grid broken. And that also means you lose out on all the unique traits that comes with the Vorpal too. So as soon as you get grid broken, it's a big disadvantage. So that's another thing you gotta keep in mind. And then there's also cross cast. There's also the bail off, the cross cast bail off, which you do it from hit stun. So like you do it from a hit stun move. It's kind of like how doing it from a chain shift, but you do it with bail off to get that little launching move, to get some combos you wouldn't normally get from chain shift or something or above. Then you got your bail off mode, which has you more of a damage buff than getting Vorpal. So that's another thing to keep in mind. But typically you don't get a raw bail off. You either use it to get them in grid break or steal their turn. I forgot to mention that too. If you hit him with bail off, their grid gets broken. Like I mentioned earlier, having your grid broken is very bad for the opponent. They lose so many options. And they can't get their Vorpal. So, with that in mind, what we're learning here is that Vorpal is the bread and butter of this game. You want to get it, you want to have it at all times. So now you're focusing not only on your meter and your health, and your opponent's health and meter. You gotta also now keep in mind there's a block with a block going on to open up the other layer of the onion that is this game's mechanic and depth. Oh, so beautiful. It's so intrinsic, because now you're just thinking of three things at the same time. but it's so intuitively made into the game that it just becomes like an afterthought. Once you like play, you can understand why you won't really like just get overwhelmed by it, because it just feels natural to how the game flows. Like if you're backing away, you lose grip block. If you do a backdash, you lose a grip block. If you're shielding, you lose grip block too. Another thing I forgot to mention, shields. If you block and then hold the shield, the D button, you can spend some meter to get this push block type move. And then that, if you block, if you shield on normal, you get more grip blocks than you normally do. So it's worth the risk if you notice the setup. But like I mentioned, like I showed you guys earlier, you gotta be careful doing that. Because if you're holding shield, I draw you. And if I draw you while you're holding shield, I grid break you. So that's another layer of the gameplay mechanic onion that is Undernight and Burp's like centerpiece, man. It's insane. There's just so much to the grid. And then also there's a thing called perfect shield. If you just time it at the right time, you reduce the blocks on moves a little bit. So moves that are typically like safe on block, if you perfect shield them, they're now punishable. Let's say like see there, I perfect shield, right? And now what would normally let her be like safe and stuff, you now be able to punish or go for a draw. So it like, there's another layer to it, but you gotta, you gotta practice those because they're timing based, and like I said earlier, you can vary the timing with repeat. So there's also reboots to keep in mind too. And yeah, they can get a little hectic at times, but just keep in mind it's the essential things are Vorpal, health, and meter. The other stuff comes in later. What's important is those three, you focus on those, and you'll have a great time. Just want to get Vorpal. Vorpal's your main ship to get. You want to get meter, you can spend it on supers or EX moves. And obviously your health, because it dictates how long you go. So with that in mind, I want to change the stage real quick before we get into the character herself, Wagner. Stage. I want to change the music too, because the music in this game is phenomenal, guys. You gotta hear some of this stuff. It's on Spotify. Look up Raisho, Undernight and Birth EX latest, because it was on the ST. It's the soundtrack they put up on Spotify, so you can find that, and they got almost all the songs up there. Still with a regular herb box. Yo, this song's so good. Go! We'll get those info back anyway. So, yeah, Elmo's theme is godlike. Blood Dragon, but I love this song. Hyde versus Seth mutual situation. It's so good. I'm gonna turn off grid for now. I'm gonna give it to the opponent actually, so I don't have to focus about it. So let's get to breaking down the main gist. What you all came here for, the character breakdown, right? Let's go through her normals first. Like, let's just run around through all her normals. Let's start off with this. 5A. Look at this mammoth of a button. Look at this guy. Bro, look. What is this button? Oh. Look. The range on this thing, this is a jab, guys. This is not a medium. It's -2. This is like your go-to stagger button. Insane. Staggering the range on it. Typically, it's so good on a stagger situation that you can't even punish it sometimes. Like it's safe. You can frame trap with it to a medium. So if they try to like try to even jab it, I just frame trap immediately because it's -2. Like it's frame trap into the medium or a heavy. I can do it into the heavy, and if I get a heavy starter, oh baby, you ain't sitting pretty tonight. Not only is it a good stagger, it's also good for damage too. You can get some insane damage off this button. Like, you can link it into your heavy if you time it just right. Oh, my bad. And if you can chain into your heavy, you can go into your shield special, which we'll get into soon, and get some insane damage off of that. And like I mentioned earlier, great for staggers, great for starting those optimal situations where you just want to be. Good neutral button, good for stagger, good for just anything really. Block is good. The range is phenomenal. You can get that draw RPS going, because you can dash up. They think, oh, you're gonna do another one, right? And then, and then, the big one's coming. Oh, then a draw. Oh, then a heavy's coming. Oh no, then the thwart function. Like, there's so much to that button that it's just insane. Great button. Your go-to stagger button, your starter for most block strings. It's a good combo starter too. Typically not that bad as a damage starter if you're like we're going for combos. But then it's also fast, very fast. 5-framer. Good for your best repeat button. Makes most stuff -1 or -2. And then obviously your pressure. Like, yeah, this is the button. So good in the corner, so good in the screen. Your stagger button. If you learn how to micro dash with it, you can mix in those throws. You can open them up with the frame traps, like I mentioned earlier. Like, it's insane for like. Then you got your 2A, typical 2A. Like, it's just a little crouch. You can chain into it. You can chain into itself. You can go from standing 5A to 2A. You can chain it like 3 or 4 times and they're not shielding. But let's say they start shielding, right? Or like the second hit. See, like, you can only chain like at least 3 instead of 4. You can get up to 6 if you're like getting from a dash momentum. It's typically your go-to low starter for block strings. Okay range, not the greatest, not as disjointed as for 5A, but it's not bad for starting neutral, and it's a good repeat button too. In case you already used your light, if you already start out with your 5A, it's not bad to go to 2A for repeat. I typically like to use that anyways, because I like to start out with 5A and then go into 2A for repeats. So I can start my low string right afterwards. So yeah, like in the low 6 frames. -3, if I'm correct. Yeah, around -3. Fast. You can go into the draw RPS, like you do with light. It's a little riskier, it's a 2-frame gap. So I wouldn't recommend it unless you really open them up with, like, let's say overhead, and then they're thinking you're gonna do another overhead right afterwards. Then let's say you do 2-2A, then a tall jump 8, and then I go for throw. Or maybe you get assault again, and then you go for throw like that. Like it's a pretty okay button for situations like that. Highly recommend if you like thinking they're not gonna block low, then go for it for sure. And it's not bad to start off for your block moves, but I'd be careful with that because there are moves in this game that are foot involved or that are instantly like they go for an assault or something afterwards. So keep that in mind whenever you use it. But like I said, fast, changes itself, goes back into 5A, good for repeat. And for damage, you can get the okay route. Your typical... Oh, my bad. Your typical combo into knockdown after it. Like you get around 2k or something without Vorpal, and you get a buff. It's not bad. You can obviously like extend it a little bit. Like let's say... Oh, my bad. I think it was 5. There we go. You can get like that, and you're feeling frisky. The problem with that is that it prorates. And if it prorates too long, then you get a situation like that where you might whip your jump to C and you don't get your knockdown. So you can get some damaging route, but I typically, if you want to do that, you go for the 5. Or your medium, or your 5B, 2B. 2A is more for blocking. But if you got the hit with 2A, go for it, man. You can't go wrong with that. It gets into knockdown. If you go to 5B like that, jump speed, and then boom, you get your buff. And you can set up a kill frame afterwards. It's not bad. It's not a bad buff. Now, one of my favorites, 5B. Ooh, man. This button is insane. Now, what you're thinking, oh, it's just a kick, right? It's not just a kick. The fist joint. The hurt box. It's kind of unforgiving. It's not actually on the foot. And it's hard to hit her low from it too. It goes mad far, and you can chain it into your 6 feet, which goes into your frame trap. And it's one of your best starters. You can get stuff like this. High damage, high Oki, high advantage, and you get a buff. Nah. This button is godlike. It's good for repeat too. Leaves you -2. But typically you don't use it for repeating. Use the other 6B or 5C for repeating. But using more 4, it's like, oh, if I got the hit with 5B, I can hit confirm into 6B. Or 2B, which goes into 6B. That's the autopilot. Let's say like you got 5B, but you can automatically, like, without any thought, go into 2B and change together like that. You can also go into 5C, which does that as well. It's a good button for, like, let's say you start out with the fire like I mentioned earlier. You can use it to like frame trap as well because it's like got a good stagger window. Let me put him blocking so I can show off. Like that. Very good for like if you're -2 or -1. Just catch him right there with a solid button and get a good combo like that. Great for neutral, great for combos, just great overall. Fantastic button. 2B, low, decisively long range low actually. Reaches decently far. Standard frames, round 9 frames. Startup, kind of sluggish recovery. It is safe, obviously, but typically you don't want to use it too much. Like if you say 2A ain't gonna reach, then you 2B. It's a pretty standard low. I say it's one of her worst buttons because it doesn't bring anything that no one else doesn't already have. So like you really only use it like if you want they're not gonna block low or you already set up an overturn thing. Then you're like, oh, I think he's gonna get hit. But it's not bad to do that. Also, if you feel like he's gonna block it, then you can just go right back to 5B. It's a good button. And then go to 6B. So, standard low. Not much to it. You got your stuff. Now this one. Boom. Like I mentioned earlier, command normal. 6B, forward to B. You get this bad Nemashevo button. 6B. This is mad active. 2 hitboxes. Normally this move is very negative. But like I mentioned, the strength of it is not from it alone, it's from chaining it into it. Like from your medium or your heavies. Yes, you can do it for your heavy too. I know, right? That's cheap. Yup, it is cheap. Cause, come on, like, you hit him with a heavy and then you can frame trap anyway? Like, come on, that's insane. And then it's far away, it hits far away too. Like, come on. Double buff, bruh. It's good butt. It's good butt. Right? Doing that. But biggest weakness from it. And hella recovery. So if I do it on whip, it's not that strong. It's actually really easy to punish on whip. I'm not too sure how much recovery frames I have, but you do not want to whip this button. It's really bad to whip it. That's typically what the opponent wants to do, is they backdash away from it. Kind of hard to do, but if the wider player is playing correctly, then it's really hard to avoid this button. But if you get into that range where you can avoid it, you can whip punish it with a heavy, with a 3C. Thank you, Bryce. Yeah, 24 frames for recovery. Like, come on, whip. You do not want to whip this normal. Very, very bad on whip. But yes, like I mentioned, the power of it is on its repeat strings. So if you repeat on the first hit, it's -2. On the second hit, it's -1. And that's when it gets crazy. Because the pushback means you can make a whip a light and just get a straight whip punish from almost anywhere. It's so nutty. Like, insane how much you can do with that button from a repeat situation. Now let's say like, oh, I do it from here, make him whip his giant, and now I can just go in for free with a dash up throw, or maybe go for a nerd 6B like I mentioned earlier, or maybe even go for a heavy to just get that strong punish. Or maybe if I'm just not feeling confident, you just do a 5B. Like, and then you get your counter. Boom. Easy combo. Get your knocks down. Come on. So, yeah, the God button, 6B. Don't whip it, use it on block, insane. Great for stagger, great for starting combos, great for whip punishing, just great overall. Come on, Bright. It's in party time, bro. So, let's get back to those C buttons now, though. We got here 5C. Big old button. Typically, very negative. Negative 13, actually. Very punishable. But, like we do with 6B, repeat becomes an insane stagger tool. Brain traps. Combo into 6B. The range on it is insane. You can also charge it. And they get more range. You can even use it to set up your more free charge situations because you can slightly charge it and get a delayed 5C that you would normally get. Like that's the charge, and then normally, and then I charge it a little bit, and then I let go just at the right time, and boom. Well, you know what? Yeah, the BO strip. We'll get to that soon. Yeah, I do BO strip more often. I don't really use BO strip too often because I only learn like 1 or 2 routes, but if I want to get back in for realties, then yeah, I should learn how to BO strip from more situations instead of like, let's say, from a corner hit or something. Yeah, BO stripping is nutty as hell. Just to get that like great break and just steal your turn, get your turn back, get that ball point. It's so nuts. But yeah, back to it. 5C. Good button, great stagger, great range. Mix it up with the charge one, and you got party time, baby. Just like you can do it for, like, if you can't get like 6B, you can get charge C. That's how far away it goes. The charge one to repeat is -1. Oh man. The range was -2. But, like, you can just keep doing it if you're at that optimal range where you want to use 5C. Typically for like, if you already repeat it after the 6B, then you do a 5C to catch a button, or maybe if you delayed a little bit of charge 5C, then you can set up the optimal range for your shield. And you can get a frame trap, or what I like to do, if you're at max range, you can make it plus. So, very good button. A lot of applications for it. You can also sometimes even catch him in the air like a ghetto anti-air because of how far range it goes. So it's not bad. Not bad at all. Then you got your 2C. Very good sweep. Insane for staggers with repeat. Good for damage too. Oh. Let's say I was repeating it from earlier. I can still get a combo. So you can get pretty autopilot with it. Super good. Roberto, ¿cómo está mi diablo ahí del Facebook stream? Aquí, ya tú sabes, teniendo el juego bueno de Undernight en Perth. Aquí con la Baby Wagner. Enseñala aquí el Heavy Button, el 12, el Sweep. Sí. Ahí. Enseñala la vaina. Pues como está hablando ahorita. Claro. Hilda. Diablo, no, Robert. No. Hilda. Mira, esta vez apestoso. Odio ese macho,
がまた
ese personaje hacho, agrio. Es dura y es bien. Tiene un high low tan asqueroso en el high level que es tan annoying. Tiene el left right, tiene el mixeo, el Oki. No, demasiado. Un Johnson con Oki, no. No estemos para esto, no. Estoy demasiado joven para esta vaina. No, eso no. No puedo. Está difícil. No está bien. Ella es como mid-high o high. Pero es que para mí este macho está bien difícil. Es que hay tantos high lows y left right que hay que adivinar cada vez con ese personaje y está demasiado, mano. Like, man. But, like I was mentioning back, 2C, great for staggers. Really good. Decent, very good range. Really fast for a sweep, too. And like I mentioned earlier, good for damage. Good for autopilot strings. Like, even if you're doing it, you can still do that. Ah, bueno, claro. Ahí puede hacer esta vaina, if you like, si fue automático puede reaccionar. Porque con un board, pues si está cerca. Y coger los kill frames de ahí, coger esta vaina. So, el 2C, very good sweep. Super lejos, super bueno para block, super bueno para staggers y todo. Fantástico, normal. Y ahora su command normal 6C, 6F, bruh. El 6C. Slow overhead, slow. It's 26 frames, start up. But in low crushes, real quick. I think I'm gonna like frame 10 around there. It starts low crushing. Typically what you want to do to mix it into it, like if you've got them like blocking a lot of lows, then you can do that. Then boom, you get a 6C. It goes mad far actually, surprisingly. It is an overhead, not be deceived. It is in fact a overhead. And since you can combo into your fourth function. Okay, you're fucked. So it's really easy to react to. A lot of hits done, crumples on hit. You can go into 3C after it. Stuff like that. Which is very good. Like for a raw overhead, you can also go into the fourth function. Then you can set up a kill frame en una situación así con el frame advantage y todo. Entonces es más situational, no es tan bueno como tal para un blockstreaming o algo, porque es bien lento. Pero si tú crees que él va a tener un low o lo estás bloqueando con lows constantes, pues no está mal tirarla ahí a lo loco. Y también lo puede cancelar a special cancel. Pero no puede hacer reveal porque no le cuentan como parte del beat order como tal. So, es como un finisher de tu blockstream. Ve, estoy tratando de cancelar a mi jab o algo y nada que ver. Ve, cannot repeat back into a jab or something in 360. So es más como un commitment que como que si tira un 6 set, you gotta go into force function o un special como tal. So Ya, no lo uses tanto para eso. El mapa, pues, cuando ya sitúa la situación de que va a tirar muchos low o él va a tirarme un low aquí en esta situación, vamos a decir, después que él bloquea un par de two ways, él va a pensar, ahora puedo ahí tirar porque me está haciendo un dashing. Y boom, el low crush. Porque él piensa, ok. Él va a tirar otro jab. Y después tira. Y ahí empieza un combo. Que lo linkea ahí con 5B. Así. Y con tu knockdown, con tu shield pop y toda esta vaina. So, bastante bueno el botón para cosas así. Cuando tú crees que va a tirar un low, pues boom, tira el 6C en medio de tu blockstream y abre un par de cosas ahí. But enough about that button. We got our, like I said, the standard anti-airs. 3C goes far actually. Good horizontal range. Not so good vertical. It doesn't go that far up top. See, it kind of whips a little. But horizontally, hella good button. Hella good. And like I said earlier, it's really chainable to stuff like that. You get stuff like that. So, like, for combos, really good. It's not bad to draw from, like let's say, you're gonna draw a sweep there, and you can keep the sweep for later. Like that, you can do stuff like that, because 3C, it's kind of like a medium. It's part of the reverse sweep order, and you can do stuff like that. So if you don't want to use your sweep immediately, you can throw 3C and then go to sweep your 2C, and boom, you can open up stuff like that. So, like a frame trap, basically, automatic frame trap that you wouldn't normally get. So it's a nice anti-air, it's a nice stagger button, good damage, good for extending combos too. So overall, pretty decent button. Not great vertical range, not very good in the vertical department, but horizontally, godlike. Hella far, more than most 3Cs. So now that we got all the buttons out of the way, let's talk about our specials. Let's start with the Granddaddy-O Cannon Spike, the B-Drill, Sword Card, whatever you want to call it. This move is insane. It goes really far. Like around here. Look at it, it's almost max range. Almost. And if they're not paying attention, you can do a follow-up and chain into stuff. You can even do it on blocks, a follow-up. So, very unsafe. Very, very unsafe. But, let's say you got a sword buff. Now you can cancel into a normal. Any air normal. Kinda nuts. And it's very good for extending combos. Let's say I get an analogy in the corner because I just used my sword card, and I can go into an EX right afterwards. Oh, if you delay a little bit, you can get the grounded one, and you get knocked down. So overall, hella good. Decent at drawing around in neutral because of the far range. Even sometimes it's safe if you put it out at max range. It's -5. So you can actually block right after them. But careful with it, because if they shield it, it's punishable. So if they anticipate the sword card, be careful with it, because now they can punish you after it immediately. Two, there's also the anti-air variation. Let's say he's like jumping. I can catch him with an anti-air version of it. And it also has to follow up just like the grounded one. You can get stuff like that. Oh. And then set up the stuff. So, hella good. Hella good for catching random buff jumps. And then you can set up maybe a thing after with a DP and get like a little soft knock tech situation. So, decent anti-air catches basically both jump buttons, honestly. It's kind of wild. Yeah, do like aerial shoot. Oh. Let me record it. See, like, if they draw out any move... Oh, my bad. It's sniped real good. So it's hella good for catching random straight air buttons or air techs and all that. So, but it's not gonna block. So be careful with it when using it in neutral. And there's also the shield bash, the next special move down the button. With 214 A or B. This thing. It's safe on block, the A version. So you can typically use it to end your block strings with. Negative 3 if I'm correct. Up close. But if you space it right. Oh. It's plus. It's hella plus if you space it. It's plus 3 if you space it at the max distance. Well, let's say a charge C. Then you can get a plus 3 shield bash. And with that, you can get some insane frame traps, go into a combo, maybe even that. And then you got your B version. Goes farther, more damage, but it's not as safe on block. If you do it from close range, it's negative. If you do it from, like, let's say medium, it's safe, but it's -5 if you're like right here at this distance. So it's okay for neutral. You typically use it to set up a frame trap with your force function and get stuff like that. So it's an alright special for that stuff. Now, when you combine it with, let's say, a shield buff, if you get the shield buff, which is with down B, it becomes a very potent move. Because once you have a shield buff, you get what's called guard point on your shield normals and your shield move. So let's say I'm doing a move like that, right? Actually, no. You know what? Something like that. Guard point drew the projectile and the normal because I have the shield buff. Because normally it just get hit, but if I have the shield buff, I can guard point through it. Oh. My bad. And I can go to projectiles too. So it has some insane properties to it. Really good for frame trapping. And also, the A1 with a shield buff, this is always neutral, even at close range. And if I space it like I did earlier, it's like plus 1 billion, and you can get stuff like that. It's actually more like plus 5, plus 6 around there. So hella good to mix in with the buff. Once it gets the buff, just like your C normal, you can charge your shield bash. And if you charge it, you get more guard point, you get more blocks done, you can open up more combos you wouldn't normally get too. And you get that insane corner carry that Wagner's known for. And then on top of that, it's high damage too. So if you start out with a shield bash, you can link into your medium, no problem. And you get, like, that's an easy typical combo. You get 3k and a 2 buff setup, like no problem. So highly good for neutral, for stagger, for pressure, for even combo starters too. Very good special overall, especially with the shield buff because it gets guard point. Speaking of guard point, almost forgot to mention the force function. This move right here. Hold on, let me make them do. This is force function. This is with B and C. Her force function is like this little shield thing. Safe on block. It's like, I think like -2 if I'm correct. You can frame trap to it from, like, let's say a medium, stuff like that. It's -2, yeah, it's really safe. It's a good frame trap tool. You can charge it, and it becomes an overhead. Now the overhead telephone, 28 frames. Yeah, maybe you'll catch someone sleeping because you can cancel into it from like a shield bash. But if they're ready for it, they can even like do a medium and hit you out of it. So gotta be careful with that. But let's say you got shield buff. You get so many points of guard. You don't even know. You get at least, I think, around 10 guard points if you do a shield buff or charge force function. It is still 28 frame overhead, but it has the added property of being fully guard point. It just absorbs hit and the damage you get out of it. Like you can get that. You can even get like look at that. Let's say I'll do this. You can set up insane Oki options. You can set up high damage. You can get your knockdown. Like, you get so much off of just this one normal. And it's scary too. The only weakness of it is that you can get drawn out of it. They can throw. See, it's not throw in bowl. It only has guard points, so you can get drawn out of it if you think he's gonna do it. But typically, you like mix it up with another thing, and that's where the scary part comes in with it. Oh man! So that's all the specials out of the way on the ground. Now we get to the good stuff, the airs. Her jump A. Kind of fast. It's fast normal. Real fast. You can get some. If you set up right, you can get some decent fuzzies in the corner. Because you can chain it into your. Like that. You can chain it into your jump B and you can get some insane block frames. Because you can do this and go into your 2-2-C. And we'll get to the 2-2-C soon, but yeah, jump A, decent button, fast. You can go assault jump A, and then now you gotta deal with that. And you're gonna have a bad time. This is a fast overhead. Around 17 to 18 frames depending on where you did the assault. 20 around here. You can get the guard point situations. It's nuts. It's really good for mixing up, like, let's say you do a bunch of lows, then you do that, and then you go to the throw. So, pretty decent button for that. And if you got Warple, for example, you can do, hold up, let me put Warple real quick. Where is it? Here it is. You can do this. Change this into it, cancel, get your buff. And then you win your cycle too. Which is kind of insane. You lose your chain shift, but you get a grid block back and a buff. Come on. Really good button. For once you have Vorpal established, then yeah, it's hella good for that. Jump B. Standard jump B button, decent range. He has a surprisingly long-reaching back hit buff. Let me set it up to block, just so I can show you. Like, oh, see? Like it hits back where normally wouldn't. So, you can get stuff like that you can't normally get. You can even set up to like ambiguous high-low if you do the thing right after a jump A or something. It's like pretty standard, but the thing they added in clear, you can charge it mid-air now, and then oh, what does that mean? That back hitbox thing I was mentioning, once you charge it, you can get some cross-up situations, and that's where it gets scary. You can also delay and get maybe a throw. So that's when the scary part of the string, on hit, it purples. So, you get some nutty combos. Get your kill frame, you get your knockdown, get your buff. So, hella good button. Has some projectile in bowl. Not bad to draw off after a little assault. You do that. Take assault, jump B, mix it in. Then you got your jump C. Hella big range horizontally. This button, wow. Just like jump B, you can charge it. And it also extends the range. Now, I mentioned earlier that shields typically blow up plus frames on stuff, right? Well, an interesting thing about charge jump C, it's still my turn. Like, even if you shield it, unlike other air normal, where I try my damnedest, I can't do anything. But if they shield and jump charge C, so it's a hella good button to, like, throw out on that situation where, like, oh man, he's gonna do charge C. I mean, jump C and then just charge jump C, and then you get hit and you're like, oh no, I can't do anything. Good on block. Good for mixing up too. And just like the charge jump B where you mix it up to get the throw, you can do the same thing with charge jump C. And then I just opened up so many things than you wouldn't normally get. Like, you can get stuff like that. Just reset your pressure. Mix up real low. Mix up with a throw. I don't mix up with the overhead. Like, you get so much off that. Great button, great on hit. Great for neutral too. Hella good range. All your air normals you can cancel into specials. And speaking of specials, her only air special, the air dive. Yeah, the A version, like, it goes a little straight down, and then the B version it goes a little more horizontally. And it's like you typically just use it for combos to extend stuff you wouldn't normally get. But you can charge it and get extended range, maybe even like delay a bit, and get stuff like that, which you can cancel into like the DP if you're feeling frisky or your 2-2C. Now, one of my favorite things in this game, DP! Yes, that's correct, she has a reversal, but this is her A version, which is not invulnerable on startup. But the benefit of it is head invul, frame 4, and you can always special cancel it. You can get stuff like that, even on block. Which is insane. They can do so. You can do that, or maybe you're getting them to like, oh, he's gonna do it on Wake Up. He's gonna do the B version, which is invul. This is your atypical DP. Very negative on block, but invul from frame 1. Pass 5-framer. Catch any air button. Insane vertical range. That hitbox, that animation see right there, that's how much range it is. It's nuts how much. But you cannot special cancel it unless you have chain shift. On hit. You must be on hit to be able to chain shift after it. See, on block, nothing. I got nothing. But on hit, I can do stuff like that. And just get insane damage. And you can get some, at least 4K off of it. Let's see if I can show it off. It's been a while. You get some extended combo. You can get bail up, crosscast, bail off into it. You can chain shift. Do that too. Like on hit, this thing is nuts. Full invul, like I said, your go-to anti-air if you can't 3C or ADP on time. This is like, oh, I'm gonna catch that thing up in the air. Do this. DP of the gods. And I guess that basically wraps up all her like specials, normals. So let's talk about the EX moves. So thing about Undernight. We'll put it in neutral. Thing about Undernight. In fact, so every character only has like maybe 1 or 2 supers. You have your super and then your Desperation super with the Infinity EX Sword and all that, right? But you put your C with the same special move. You get what's called EX versions, which are you spend a bar for them. Like I've been showing off earlier, they get all propertied up. This one your buff. This one frame 1. You can get stuff like let's say you do 6 speed. You can get the A shield bath into the C shield bath. We gotta spend a bar obviously. And you get some insane corner carry off of it. So let's say I got it right here in the corner. I get my medium starter. I'm already 65% way through the corner. Like, from that. Like, what? And then you also got your C version and your sword card, which if you do it raw, you can get a follow-up. And then of course the die kick has the EX version, which is neutral on block, by the way. Or +3 depending on when you use it. So let's say you do air car, it frame traps. Or you reset pressure. Because now it's on neutral. Bruh, this one's hella good. If you peeking it, Tiger Knee it, it's a very good, like how you use 6C to blow up lows. This one's also hella good to blow up lows because it's got that frame 1 low crush. And like I mentioned, if they block it, you're +1. So it's your turn. Really hard to shield too. If like the timing for it isn't. The grounded air car C, it's good for combos like I showed off earlier. Bad on block, very bad. Around like negative 12 or 20 around there is not great for block. It's really good for combos. This is good for stuffing out projectiles. Like, let's say... like you gotta hide being pestering around. Oh. Didn't record it. When it's zoning. Like it's being annoying with his projectile. That's frame 1 projectile inball, and you get a full string punish if you're ready for it. So it's hella good. Like if you got a bar and they try to zone you out, that's your go-to like option to bring it up. Or if you got a shield buff, obviously like I mentioned earlier, you can charge up and blow up projectiles like that too, thanks to the guard point. And a little bit of projectile inball. But yeah, but if you don't have shield buff, this is your go-to punish. And if at max range, it's also safe on block. If they didn't shield. If they shield, well... it's punish them. So, careful with it. If they see it coming, then they shield it, they punish them. Now... there's also the EXCP, nothing noteworthy about it. It just does a little more damage in a combo than you would normally do with like a DP. Get a little more knockdown. It's more negative on block than the B version. It's not safer. And actually, sometimes in combos it does less damage than the B one. So I like if you like want to tail off of a raw DP and they're like near low health, then it's a good option to use. It's got around the same range as the BDP. So yeah. Now the real granddaddy of them all the EX moves that Wagner has. Her go-to staple. I've been using her combos recently, but now I get to finally explain it. The 2-2C, the Flame Pillar. Oh yes, this thing is insane. +9. You heard me right, +9. There's not a lot of plus things in this game, especially from this magnitude. Like, you get both of your buffs. It's great for resetting pressure, amazing for frame trap. You can use it again in combos. You can combo into it. Great for restarting pressure. Just all option. You can do off any special. You can fit up for almost any normal too. You can do it from the die kick as well, obviously. Or force function as well. You can do it for anything. Oh, that's right. You can even do it off that. I forgot to mention, she has one more unique button with down and throw. So it'd be 2 AD. She does this little stomp kick. A little low. It's -2, so if you do shield bash on close range, you can make it safe, make it -2. If you think they're gonna force function, maybe if you got the thing and they blocked it, then you can cancel right into it. So yeah, it's a good option to, like, if you're close, go into that, make yourself safe. But yeah, anyways, back to the godness. You can bait so much. You're +9, so not only can you use it to reset pressure, establish your game plan, get your installs. You can also bait a DP, a reverse option. You think they're gonna press a button, you think they're gonna do something. It's a great defensive tool too. It's great for conditioning. It's just great overall. It has this added bonus where if you have both buffs on, both the sword and the shield buff, let's say you get him on and you want to spend it again, you get this little burn effect. This is gradual damage that happens over time to the character. They lose 950 just for having it. It's like having a poison stack for, like, let's say a dagger in like an RPG. It's like an added poison burn effect. They lose damage. They get more chipped out too. And they gotta be looking out for it, like, wow, I got hit. I took big damage from the 2-2 and now I'm burned, so now I'm losing more damage while I'm blocking. Or I'm doing something, like, it's insane. You get that burn off, there's route into burn as well that you can do in the corner. Typically I like to use this one because it's easy. Oh, say it's easy and then I drop it. Amazing. Oh man, I gotta do jab instead. So and you can get a mid combo and you got them burned. So let's say, like, literally if you get like a 5B in the corner, you go into the force function, get that little combo, get your burn off, or maybe you got it in the corner from, like, starting a pressure string. No problem. You get your counter hit. Get your burn. There's so many ways to set it up into it. Ways to do it for an Oki, ways to do it for hit. Insane. Very good option. The burn is nice. Get that 950 damage for free if you have it. So if you got the meter or Vorpal, go for it. Great option. Another thing I want to mention, your go-to for like, if you do have the install, they give you chip properties to your sword and shield button. So, what that means is that if I have a sword for already added for her insane pressure Gatling, they're losing health just from blocking. But if I use an associated move from that buff, let's say a shield thing like I did there with the 4 points count as a shield move, then you lose that buff. If you get hit, you also lose a buff too. Use a buff, you don't lose both. So, let's say I have both buffs. See, I only lost the shield buff. But let's say I only have one buff. I lost it already. I can also lose it for just using it. See, that follow-up that I only get from the sword buff, I use it up right there. But, like I said, the added option, you get the chip damage too. You normally get, see? No chip. But if I got sword buff, and it also adds in extra hits to other moves. So, you really just want to go for installs as much as you can from Oki, from throws, for anything. You want to get those buffs, get that damage, get the neutral option openers like this, and just get that gameplay going, man. Ooh, wow. Let me check my notes real quick. One last thing before we get through this. Right. I almost forgot to mention, fellas. She also has this in Undernight. This you can do a dash, and then you get a button associated to that dash. Wagner obviously has dash button. You don't get a dash A button, but you get them from your B and your C's. Her dash B is this mid-advancing storm move. You can tell by the shadows coming out of it. It's safe on block. You're gonna get used to hearing that, right? It's safe on block, of course. It's like almost everything's safe with her. That's like her thing. She's like the pressure monster. Like you typically use 6XP for combos, extensions in the corner, or you use it to get a draw RPS game going. It's -3, so I highly advise against it to do that. It's a little risky, but it is an option. And they're like, if they shield it like that, you can do that. That's a decent option, like if they stagger that. But if they don't do that, you just go straight into block or cancel, like so. Now, if you have a sword buff, it gets 2 hits. A lot of chip becomes -2. And then you get it, now you get an actual draw RPS, because the frame cap associated to after the 6XP. Because now you can chain into the light. Thanks to that added frame advantage, the 2 hit, it can mess up their throws or their shield and just go to town. Because now, oh, I'm gonna shield him. Oh no, the second hit, and then damn, you can grid break him. So that's the cool thing about it. And like I said, now it's -2, so you got the 5A mind games and the 2A. So that new added layer just from getting that sword buff. And then next up we got the 660 dash C. 10 frames advancing low, then high push. It's not very gun block normally, but it's special cancel. That means it's also force function cancel. So you can do go with the shield bath, 660, RC. You just get all the options, and you're not ready for it. You get a full combo. Super good button. Just like the 660, the 660 gets a power up from the sword buff. Now get that extra chip damage, that 2 extra hit, and that's even easier to confirm if they block it or they get hit by it. Now you got your 2 buffs. It's hella good button. Oh, bar. Very easy to hit confirm. Like, insanely easy. Especially with the sword buff. Get those burns, baby. So yeah. Gold mine. Get those buffs. Buff up your defense. So you can set up the chip mine game. You can set up the 660 and look at the chip that did on its own. Just from blocking. They gotta respect. And then you got that drill mine game going. Nah. It's too much. Rebeat. If you like combine all these tools together, you can understand why she's considered the pressure monster. Because you can just keep looping over and over again into safe stuff, into the frame trap. And once you put it all together, and then, once I'm done blocking all that, I'm right back in. And now you gotta respect her again. And you're like, no, come on. And yeah, it's just insane. It gets so crazy. Well, last thing I like to mention before we get done with this little breakdown. Everyone has throw, right? But hers, she can charge it. And she gets a little more pushback and a little more frame advantage. So you can, let's say we have like our mid-screen, you get that sword, you get both buffs. There's typically not an option they can punish that mid-screen. And let's say I got the sword buff, if I shoot a charge with the throw, I get it right back. And you get a little extra damage. And if you got chain shift, you get a combo out of it. Pretty good. But yeah, it's got the sword buff with the throw and the chain shift, then you got some options already. Especially grip break, then they gotta be worried about that for sure. Big damage. Like big. Like all that from a throw, and then I get my 2-2C, and then I got my buffs right back, and then I got Oki. Later, bruh. Dominatrix of neutral and pressure, man. But she has some glaring weaknesses. Her mix-up game is much to be desired. Like I mentioned earlier, slower hits. They're all very slow. They're all typically very reactable. Her only hard to react move is her assistant mechanic with the assault jump A. Like, she may be able to set pressure, but typically this is her range. And she does take quite a risk, just willy-nilly with a shield bash or a sword card without Vorpal. Like, you're taking a hard risk if you're a good player. they gotta know when to shield and when to that. So it's already taking a risk doing that, those options. So it's a little harder to get in, especially with a character that has such a presence, like let's say a high or a board or something. Where they have more range to deal with in the neutral, so Wagner has to get in a little more and risk a little more. And if she wants, and her mix-up game is just high and low. The occasional cross-up with the jump beat, which is new. There's kind of into it, but typically not. There's not that much that you can do about that. It's just high-low with a draw mind game. So her mixed-up game can be quite lackluster. Her backdash, good range, starts up in bowl real quick around like frame 1 to frame 8. But unlike like say like a high, it's only in bowl for that first 8 frames. So if you try to like backdash out of a thing, you can get caught right at the end of it and get blown up. So her backdash can be a little weak at certain situations, but the range you get out of it and the fact that it is frame 1 to frame 8 fully in bowl is very good, but it has its drawback. Another glaring weakness with her is that you do have to commit a lot of times. If you don't have a buff or Vorpal, you do have to commit to an unsafe option just to get in. You don't have the meter, but it is reconcilable. Like, you can get it back because her biggest strength is that she is typically always in your face and can get Vorpal really easily and win the grid cycle. So, in resume, she has some of the best corner carry in the game, great damage, amazing pressure with a Gatling, with 6-6 speed, charge C, good mix up from her assault thanks to the fact that she has charge, air button, great throw with awesome advantage, typically very safe specials like shield bash, good force function that blows up projectile, great pressure reset that go into plus range, like this, like the jump 36C or the 22C. Installs are amazing tools, giving her guard point, adding some insane layers to her already oppressive pressure game. When she has Vorpal, she becomes a monster with pressure because now you can actually mix in. Albeit you have to lose Vorpal to get to that point, but the option's there and it's quite hard to deal with. And then you keep it in mind, high damage too, great use, great normal, decent walk. It's just overall good stagger, but her drawback, quite kind of lackluster mix-up game compared to the other characters in this game. Has to commit when she does not have resources with high-risk moves in neutral, like her air card or her sword card. Has to rely. Typically, her anti-air that's not a DP can be situational and get blown up. If you learn how to shield her, she's not as annoying to deal with in pressure because now the one safe special moves are now punishable. So you gotta think about that. And yeah, I mean, she doesn't really have a lot of drawbacks, a lot of weaknesses, but they can be apparent at high level play, especially the fact that if you shield her stuff, she's not as scary. Sort of. Because like I mentioned, there is stuff that can blow up shields. like when she has sword buff, then she can blow that stuff up. But yeah, overall, fantastic character, great starter character, easy to get into. Not a hard game plan. You knock down to get buffs. Great corner carry, great damage, solid specials, has a DP, so already great defense option too. And overall, an amazing toolkit to get started, and you get to learn the system mechanics. You have to use them with Wagner. You have to use the system mechanics to get her stuff going. And yeah, highly recommend playing with her if you're starting out with Undernight. Great character to get started with, get your feet wet. Suggest looking through her burn route if you get to that level, but they get some good damage, and learning when to use the repeat stuff to get that draw RPS going is really important once you get the hang of this character. So, overall, amazing character, great starter, some weaknesses, but you get used to it, and yeah, that's about all I can really say about Wagner. And I'm gonna leave y'all at that for now. I'm gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back with my special guest coming in through, so we can play a couple more matches here to demonstrate what makes the game and just show off the game a little more. So we'll be right back in a quick 5 minutes. Thank you. God bless.
どうした来ねえのか。意外と大したことねえんだな。どうした来ねえのか。
犬が待たせるつもりか。
意外と大したことねえんだ
犬が待たせるつもりか。さっさと来たらどうだ。犬が待たせるつもりか。さっさと来たらどうだ。
どうした来ねえのか。
犬が待たせるつもりか。さっさと来たらどうだ。さっさと来たらどうだ。犬が待たせるつもりか。
どうした来ねえのか。どうした来ねえのか。
さっさと来たらどうだ。犬が待たせるつもりか。犬が待たせるつもりか。さっさと来たらどうだ。犬が待たせるつもりか。犬が待たせるつもりか。
どうした来ねえのか。
グジット。
あんアンダーナイトインバ
オプション。バーサス。バーサス。
When we're back, gents, from that little break. Sorry it took a little longer, but my special guest here, DMS, all the way from Puerto Rico. This man, he's the god of Undernight here. He beats my ass all the time, but y'all know what it's about. This is the Aka god, the Biak god here in PR. This man, the myth, the legend, the resident clown. Amazing. This is the man to watch. This guy is godlike, and we took a little longer to set up, but now that we got everything going, we got the game going here. Let me just put it up real quick. Yeet. Hold up. Of course, right when I need it to be put, let me do it. There it is. Now let me know, stream, you can hear the audio or not, because Dash. Don't make fun of me. Go back.
Sadly, I can't at the moment.
Oh. Wait.
Oh, I got colors. Or did I?
No.
Did I do a switch? Oh, what?
I mashed, okay? I'm sorry. Oh my god. But hold up. I've got to put in recording. That's important. Alright, there we go. Put my buttons. You ain't anything. Nothing. You're nuts.
Don't pull my fucking license.
You think I came here to play good on stream with people watching? You're wrong. Let's go. No animals there.
That's why I'm keeping quiet. I'm not exactly PG-13.
ファーストクローズ
Get
リ
it.
バイド
血を変え。血を変え。こっちだ。いくぞ。進めてよ。切り裂く。感激カウンター。
You're gonna be a fool. My foolish.
感激ここだ。ここだ。それいい。その手。
I'm Ash, yes.
剣よ。遅い。そうだ。燃えかけるそこ。進めて。こっちだ。まとえ。アンキレ。出る。蹴っちどこだ。
Come on, man. I tried to.
その程度。
Just like I said in the stream, easy to confirm.
セカンドクローズリバイド
輝け進め出るかける
Man up.
反撃回復悪くない切り裂く進めて出る悪くないずるいそれで終わろう
No! Plus, it's not real. Optical illusions.
ルキことの名をこの上に
一
積もりかし
瞬で片付けてやる。
ファーストクローズディバイド
行くぞ。
Oh, what?
やるな
What? What? How dare you possibly? I didn't even do it, bro. Come on, do not.
剣よ。
Of course you say that.
進め。ここか。こっちだ。その手反撃ここだやるなここかほら落ちろ一点の炎よ消しろなん悪くない
一番の解放
それで終わりか悪くない
電光だ
その手消しろ
What? That's right. Brain full breakout imbo. That's right.
セカンドクローズディバイド
切り裂く
交代電光だ発射
Oh, why they back there?
捕まえて燃え尽きろやっ
そんなものか
捕まえて燃え尽きろ一本かけるやるここかほら落ちろ遅い感激こ
That was a change.
カブト割り
でそれいい切り裂く
Yes.
落ちろその程度か感激開始その程度でいい
Go. Oh, this might hurt. No,
ルキことの名をこの上に積
出
もり
会った
かし
不運を呪うがいい
ファーストクローズディバイド
the dash.
シオ前シオ行くぞ出る右上で
Oh, I got blown up.
発射
やらせ捕まえて燃え尽きろ
Oh no.
感激か舞い上がれ
Not fair.
感激か悪くない
連撃
いいそ
Overhead.
れでは
カブト割り
やらせ切り裂切り
そんなものか
出た切り裂く感激悪くない
電
ここだずるいここだなんだと
俺に耐えられるか
Where's his head?
もう終わりか
ウィナー
Why'd you block against a
ディバ
constant?
イド
Bruh, I'm sorry. Oh, what?
悪くはない出る
Oh, wow.
一歩遅い
Damn right. That's what it is.
その手でいいその手
Good. Bro, you just got hit by a fireball?
願わくば我に
Hold on. That's cheap.
ファースト
Not
クロ
fair.
ーズディバイド
Hey.
切り裂く行くぞ
Hey. Oh, good counter. Come on. I kind of need my pressure to play.
それなんか
Night?
ぬるいぞ
Imagine having a 10 frame,
セカンドクロー
3
ズ
head
デ
anti-air.
ィバイド
The last hit is over. Oh, I don't know.
捕まえて燃え尽きろで焼き払う
Oh, what? No, the... It worked out at the start part.
切り裂く
Oh,
やらせはしないここだやがれ
Come on.
その手離れる悪くはない悪くはないそれで悪くはない侮れ
Mom, I'm back.
何度だった
I cheated you.
リバイド
Hey.
やらせはしないその程度か
I wasn't too bad. Yeah.
それでその程度悪くないやらせはしない見せてやり
For a nigga, like you said.
3かけるいくぞそれいいぬるいぞ蹴散ら
あら
切り裂くやけろ落ちろ絶縁のものよこっちだ
And you did. See? I didn't need to do it, but you know what? I should have done. Bro, I was in perfect range to do it 3 times like an idiot.
ウク殿の名をこの上に積もれ
Hey, hey.
ファーストクローズリバイド
何と
蹴散ら切り裂くやけろまとえこっちだこれすべてここ歩くやらせ捕まえて熱くて切り裂く落ちろ蹴ちまとえ
終わりかなかなか上げとわりかげとわり
Hurt, y'all.
反撃くかけるまだだ切り裂く
That took too long. I might have been foolish.
セカンドクローズリバイド
すべてそれで終わるくはないそれで終わるすべてその程度その程度甘い切り裂く落ちろでこっちだ
My kill frame, huh?
反撃開始
これに耐えられるか
侮るなよ終わりだいくぞ悪くはない
Stupid.
やらせ
Stupid.
落ちろきれい
終わりか
打ち破る落ちろきれい
Bruce.
立て
Bruce.
リバイド
血を吐え
Oh man.
発射
その程度
電光だやった電光だやっ
ピエ
た
Come on. Buena. Go, tra. Déjame
そ
quieto.
の程度ピエぬるいぞ
最後
なんだ切り裂くやけろ続くぞ
Would have been ouchie.
切り裂く来い
I'm surprised.
落ち
Really?
ぬるいぞ切り裂く落ちろなんだここだなんだそれで落ちろ輝けここだ
What fish you do? I don't know.
には死し
Yo, Wagner blocking with the face? Oh
シ
god.
ストも死
Oh, I gotta
ファ
say
ー
the
ストクロ
name.
ーズリバイド
押しつぶす
交代発射
その程度
電光だ
その程度かその程度か
カブトワリ
やらせ やらせ
It's over.
それで終わり
不甲斐ない
Told you I came here with a single purpose. Clown.
Bro, don't worry. It's only a little
It's only
bit.
half my health.
Yes.
Oh no. Okay.
我に至難覚悟を与えたまえ。
ファーストクローズディバイド
何さいや
でそれで終わりか
Oh, I tried to run on DP, but it didn't work. Holy. I didn't expect you to do it when I said so.
Well, I did it. You told me to do it. God. Damn right I did.
立ち上がっても
セカンドクローズディバイド
Oh!
反撃開始
No!
捕まえた燃え尽きろ輝け
Oh, please.
落ちろやらせその程度悪くはない悪くないその程度
Oh.
不甲斐ない。
サードクローズディバイド
無念無双。最後って
もっと熱くそこかまとえこっちだ燃えろ前
まだまだ。
Be gone.
反撃開始
No! Not. Well, maybe. Oh. Gonna deeply. Yeah.
我シストも死せ。
Whatever.
ファーストクローズ
No, I still have win.
上げとわり。交代発射。
反撃ここだ落ちろやらせ
Oi.
I mean, I did.
発射。
こっちだその手ここだ落ちすぎだ滑る
体内勝利。
Ah.
もっと熱く悪くない
一番の解
Come on.
放。もう終わりか。
セカンドクローズディバイド
行くぞ
何さここか。交代発射。胸体内。
でこっちが捕まえて燃えもっとシャッなん
せい。俺に耐えられるか。
それで終わりか
まだまだ来い。
こっちだ
On.
ずるい
No more.
反撃悪くない悪くないやらせ捕まえて燃え切ろこっちだ切り裂く蹴散ら
なかなか
切り裂く
なかなか
だ
見えた。
けここでかける崩しそう
なものか。
ほらかける上の方よ切った切った
なかなか
かけるかけ蹴散ら貫
なかなか見えた。
捕まえて燃え尽きろ
Oh, come on.
No. Ah.
悪くない
やるな
Come on. Yes. Bro, you don't need to kill, bro. What? That's really cool. Come on.
リバイド
Bang.
攻
Oh.
撃活動の
Oh, that was
交代か
悪くないキッズ
やるな
蹴散らキリトだけを剣をこっちだかける
まだまだ
No.
八番
キリト剣を
Oh.
キリトキッズ
You've been deeply in. Hands frozen. Wait. It's cold in here.
我シ
出
ストも
会った
死せ
分を呪うがいい
ファーストクローズディバイド
電光だ電光だ
押しつぶす
交代接戦したせーパ
それで逆だキリト出たキリト蹴散らここだ
電光だ
キリトだけをほら落ちる剣を出るキリト
Oh, wow. That's
それでおかん出るキリト
攻撃とわり
ぬるいとそうぬるいカウントキリトそこか剣を襲い前輝け
終わりぬ
やらせ
もう終わ
セカンドクローズディバイド
Nope.
それで終わりだ
り俺そう俺そう
かけるキリトそこかほら落ちるこれで終わりだで方言もっと熱くしれ
もはや許さず
こっちキリトここか落ちるほら落ちるあきれ
次の
その手でいいそうです
Might as well just-
蹴散ら
I did that.
落ちるいけ
I mean, if I did hit you,
さて次は入
you
る
would
サードク
you
ロ
would
ー
have
ズ
been sort of
ディバ
dead.
イド
What? Bruh.
ここから蹴散ら落ちる
That fight you were cheap.
終わりか
Oh.
そんなものか発射
その手だこっちキリト
終わりか交代
まだだ
Okay.
反撃
Okay.
悪くない
まだまだ接戦した
その手だ
Mine is rough.
発射発射
悪くない反撃回避警からわしい
交代か
悪ぬるいキリト
Mike, you're like, bro. Okay.
剣をこっちだ
胸
まだだ
そう
行くぞ
やるな
キリト
交代発射最後徹底やはりな
You shielded it. Why would I? You were talking about no, this is the mechanics of this game, and
やる
I
な
just used it. Those are the ones where you gotta use card C instead. That was Ooga Booga, now it's for...
あとはお願いねペクや
When
ファーストクローズ
when you Oki.
懲りないね
悪くないぞそーら
Hello.
撃返したその手
ほら肘この辺に
その血が来たら
Ow.
あらよ終わるわけどう料理しよ
Or not someone who knows.
うほらほら
反撃開始
そりゃそういつまで耐えれるかなこれでどう料理しようそら
ケチバカだ
だよは抜けてきた
捕まえて燃え尽きろ夢切り裂くそうかあとへこっちだ切り裂く
Oh my god! I forgot they got the jab. The reach.
燃えろバカだ上から
Come on!
どう料理しよう仕掛けていこうみじんこの合わせそうみじん仕掛けみじんどう味付けし
Tell me, please. I don't think I
侮りその程度
いく
その程度
いつまで耐えれるか怖い
見せてやるその
can.
程
I
度
mean, please.
ほらみじんこの辺に
悪く
えい貫けほらみじんで足元どうり仕掛け合わせああみじんみじん切りがいいかな
ここから
Late.
お前の
I tried to do the fucking super, but it didn't come out.
切り裂く
あらよ
落ちろ来い悪く来い
ほらほら
輝きかけ
悪あがきだ
切り裂く
いただきます
ケチラ
ここの無駄
切り裂くかける
そいつ
切り裂くやけろあとへ遅い
寝てよ
押しつぶせ
あらよまだまだ
その程度
ああ
ここだ
どう料理しようここにもそこいたら切りそうどうり仕込んで
それで終わりやめて切り裂く
Oh, thank you.
落ちろ剣を出る
What? Actually? On God?
切り裂くやけろあとへ
Oh,
ま
but
だまだ
落ちろ
so much damage.
立ちふさがる者は
I like
し
to
つ
play
こいわ
neutral.
我が本気
I play
試して
neutral.
みるか
リバイド
Ow.
爪捕まえて燃え尽きろ
危ない
切り裂くやったかける
ここがある
切り裂くたち
止めてよ
切り裂くやけろ落ちろで切るあとへ捕まえて燃え尽きろ
ナイスタイミングやめて
それで終わりで
行こうかいただきどう料理しよう仕掛けていこうかなああどう料理仕掛けほらほらどう料理仕込んでいこうかな
反撃開始その程度
どう料理はある
切り裂くかける
あらよ
捕まえて燃え尽きろなんで立つ
セカンドクローズリバイド
タッチ
貫け仕込んでおこうか落とす
行くぞ切り裂くだけの剣よ行くぞ
あらよ
捕まえて燃え尽きろアンキ
逃げろ
Ah,
ど
you
う料理しようこの足元どう料理しようよっどうだどう料理しようほら肘仕込んでおこうか
ここだ完璧よその程度やらせ
Bruh.
やらせ
Bro.
切り裂く全力で反撃開始
No.
間違いないこの辺かわせるかい危ないまだ
Ah, nice.
料理しようここにも弱いねサードクローズリバイドどう料理しよう
ケチラチャンよ
どう料理しようここにもそうみじん切りしたとこほらほらどう料理しよう高まるねそれどう料理しよう仕込んで足元
その程度見せてやる爪
そうほら行くよ
悪くチャン
どう料理しようここにも痛い切り刻むどういう仕掛けほらほらみじん切りがいい
それで終わ
合わせる
りそ
かい
の程度
この流れに
落ちろその程度
どう料理しようこの辺にそれ痛いほら
Might as well English. Bro, I was literally doing the same fucking string. And I'm like, he's gonna choke. I know it.
You're gonna cave
あ
in.
とはお
I
願い
didn't
ね
choke.
ペクや一瞬で片
任せてよ
付けて
Gave up.
さん
What? There's buttons on top of your forehead imprinted from the matching.
その手
行くよ
来い
かかったね
押しだね
The hell was that?
やめてよ
Well, you only blocked low, so I was like, fuck it, might as well.
仕込んでおこうかな仕掛け
反撃開始
この流れに
切り裂く
どう料理しようこの辺足元どうりお答えそうどうりしかほらほらみじん切りがいいかな
悪くはね見えねえだ
目障りだよここにも防げるどうああどう料理しまだまだだ
離れる全てやめてよ
痛いねまた
落ちる何悪くはね
行くよ
それでその
みじん切りがいいからこの流れに分かったのセカンドクローズリバイド
You need a break?
どうだい
ぬるいし
どう料理しようこれで
落ちる
Oh,
それで終わり落ちる
oh, stop. Stay on the ground. No, please. Oh, that didn't get hit by I didn't either.
サードクローズリバイドあらよこれでみじん切りがいいから仕掛けておこうかな防げる行こうみじん切り仕掛けほらほらどうこの合わせ
それで終わり行くないそれ
それだね終わるわけさ
こっちだ捕まえた燃え尽きるもっと熱い強い切り裂くかける甘かける続くぞ切り裂くかけるここでかける
Oh, come on.
この辺に危ないこの流れに
落ちよマルシー
行くよ
What?
どう料理しようここにも
I'm mad.
普段
We should be madder.
あとはお願いねペクや我が方
任せてよ
試してみ
Be
る
like, it'd be like that.
ファーストクローズリバイド
いくつ焼き払うすべてそれ
どう料理しようかかったね
切りやってる
見誤ったか
捕まえ燃えてよ
My 5D got
ど
grabbed.
う料理しようここにもそれすげほら
反撃開始それここだそう
どう料理しようこの辺足元それ痛いよみじんここ落とすよ仕込んでおこう防げるかわせるか行くよみじんこの辺にそれ
Why look at all the respawn?
リバイドこの辺に
よくあっけ
仕掛けてる
Oh,
どう仕掛けてどう料理しよう行くよ味わいなよ味わいなよほらほらそれ
その見え
どうこの辺に行くよ
ここだ
どう料理しよう仕込んで足元
それで
alright, I get it. Shit. Get on.
この流れに
Come on, man.
なんだその
しつこいわねイージスの使い方を教えて
Eating beans.
ファーストクロー
Tim
ズ
officer.
リバイドそれ
輝くいい
Tim
よ
officer. He's the one who
どう
believes
料
you
理
why.
しよう
He's the one scaring away all the females.
切り裂く
無駄
切り
無駄
かける切り裂くそこから落ちる
終わるわけないよ
落ちるその手だ
行くよよっ
蹴散らすなんだ見えている
そりゃそれほらほら
Oh, what?
どう料理しよう仕込んでおこうかなそうどう料理したか 同僚よりも国際
切り裂くそこだ落ちる蹴散ら切り裂くやっ捕まえ燃え尽きろ
I didn't even have shit. Alright, I forgot. Yeah, I
なんで
totally
立ち上がっても
that's why
セカンドクローズリバイド
反撃かかい
Come on! Please? Oh god! Drop it!
基準したほらほら
反撃開始
それ同僚にしこの流れに仕掛けてる
切り裂く
Oh, yeah, ma.
落ちる切り裂ける貫くいくぞ
Oh, man,
この辺にどうだい
やっ切り裂くそこだ落ちる
この流れ
落ちるここだろここだ
ほらほら
ぬるい
行くよあらよ
切り裂く
ないね
蹴散ら蹴散らどこだ切り裂くかけるここでかける貫く上のものよ打ち貫いてやれ捕まえて燃えてよ
それ貫き仕掛けてる
oh, wow.
それで終わる
You don't. You don't though. Ah, you don't. I saw you.
小娘
I pointed. You jumping. Go back talking. You know you wanna. Gotta embrace the hood, I guess. Por lo menos. A ver si me recuerdo algo de la OD Unknown Oreo. Apparently, the best Oreos are from Levittown. You know, Bayamon.
リバイド
Bro, that hasn't beating the good American ones. Ah, and then gets overhead. Sorry, I didn't guess for the third time, Mom. Damn. Well, I almost fucking. Oh, well, I almost freaking didn't kill. Oh, nice. Nice cookie. Crocodile. What? You're stupid. I thought I had.
サードクローズリバイド
Oh no! Bro. One shot.
それでここだ動くな行くぜやらせこっちだ切り裂くだけろほら切り裂く落ちろ生きるそれだからやりますね火を生え蹴散らここで蹴散らそこレイジするぞ切り裂く蹴散ら待ってそこ手荒れ知れセクシー手荒れその手そこ手荒れ落ちろ
I did that so Come on,
This
it.
使い方を教えてよ
ファーストクローズ
Come on, let's roll back. Don't worry.
輝け
Oh, dude.
やりますね 反撃か切り裂く手とか後へこっちだ押し進む前やりますねこの反撃か悪くないどうですその子です切り裂く切り裂くエーテライトグラフやらせ色を押し進むケチスランドだやります
Oh.
それでおそらくどうですよね悪くはないどうです引き寄せる悪くはないどうです悪くはない戦略悪くはない離れやります動くな反撃すべくその程度やります最適戦略動くな反撃開始だ
Gotta hear my input.
リバイド
反撃開始その程度
Ah, that was grab.
切り裂く蹴散らここだ蹴散ら切り裂くそこだほら落ちろ剣を散ら寝てろやらせ反撃
Oh.
どうせライトグッチその程度やらせそれで落ち反撃開始やりますねやりますね最適戦略すべて
Oh. Not that.
反撃開始だ落ちろそれだくれ爪が甘い来いもらった切り裂く
Smart.
ブレイクダウン
Dumb. At the same time.
リヒ
Oh, okay. Oh, wait. Alright. In here. Wow. Clown.
この風の流
Big clown me.
やる気なのね
ファーストクローズリバイド
Bro, bro. Oh. Nice. Okay. Okay. Oh. Very nice. TP. Blew up. Okay. Okie. Damage. Am I dead? Ooh. Okay.
セカンドクローズリバイド
Okay.
落ちろいくぞ切り裂いて捕まえて燃え尽きろ反撃開始だ反撃
Go what? The game finished.
反撃ここだすべ落ちろ剣を甘い甘い捕まえて燃え尽きろ
He gets the throw.
立て
サードクローズリバイド
What?
待
Madman.
いくぞ
Elevate on my side.
ここかす悪くないさっきかっこいいおチャンス それここだ切り裂くここだ
ブレイクダウン
所詮こ
No.
こ この風の流れ一瞬でやる気なのね。
ファーストクローズリバイド
切り裂くだけの剣よ遅い
Party time! Oh, okay.
全然ほい捕まえて燃え尽きろ甘いやつやらせ切り裂く左切り裂くエースだエアレース切り裂く傷かける打ち返しまだだ慣れてるよ切り裂く蹴散らここで蹴散れんのまだよ行くぞ落ちろ行くぞお前の本気はそ
セカンドクローズリバイド
No, bros. I'm not.
サードクローズリバイド
The fuck? Oh, it was me. Great.
Oh my god. Leave me alone! Oh! When in doubt, bro! One more versus 2 and then we're out. Alright. Bet. I'm gonna go with Cheeto Dust. I'm going with Super Saiyan Blonde.
Playing the cheese ball crust.
Ah, I see. It all makes
この名を
sense.
この上に
一
積もりかす
瞬で片付けてやる
ファーストクローズリバイド
交代復活
それではもっとその程度
電光だ
その程度悪くはないその程度その程度
これに耐えられるか
それで終わり悪くケチラここでケチラ続くぞ
離せ
切り裂くそこかほら落ちろまとえ行く
Oh, my god.
それで終わり
You look like a fool.
もう終わりか
ウィナー暁
暁に遅れを取っただと
Okay, I know.
セカンドクローズリバイド
電光だほうやってやった
悪くはない
てやは発射
それで終わり切り裂く
Unfortunate.
遅い
Just about.
やるな
Oh. Why? What did you do?
食いしばれ
I have to.
なかなか交代電光だ。
やらせ
やっせ電光だ。
あとへこっちだ
接触
そのつ悪くない
我が身は
Too much. Too much.
願わくば我に
育児
死の
の使い方を教える
It's from Pokemon. Game MMS. No. McDonald's haircut.
進め
やる
切ってそれで悪くここだ
発射
蹴散ら切り裂くだけよ剣遅いぬるい落ちろ蹴散ら貫く前進めそれでその程度悪くここだ
チェストぬチェスト電光だ
やらせろ
カブト割り
It's always around
セ
4K.
カンドクローズリバイド
Only Damahe in this house.
カブト割り手や落ち接触
ゆるさゆるい
カブト割り接触開け無念無双
その程度ゆるいその程度切り裂く
交代
死よそれで終わり
I'm gonna hit it.
落ちろ落ちろその程度打ち破る落ちろ上の
発射
かけるよく貫く
発射
切り裂くそこかこっちだ追い詰め燃えろ
No, come on.
俺に耐えろ我が身は
Congratulations. You played yourself. Oh no. Oh my god. Well, do you really want to shake my hand? Nah. Out of here. Come on. Alright, you know what? Edwin, I don't know what I do. I'm gonna say, okay, I'm gonna do Picasso until it hits. And when it hits, they get back. Just block it. Unbelievable. Bro, just block Koski. It's super easy. Bruh. Koski has no damage. No damage. No normals. No neutral. No blood freeze. Those fireballs, trash. No DP, it's not real. No, that's actually. Oh, it's a 2x DP. That shit's busted. Oh, you're right. Well, that wraps it up, guys. I hope you had a great time watching. I'm glad you all tuned in for the breakdown and then the additional matches. But you know what? I'm blocking my face. And good night. And screw you, David. You trash.